everyone, and welcome to today's virtual Vibrant Learning lesson. I'm Lauren Smith, one of the program coordinators at Sage Collective, and we're rewriting the narrative on aging and incorporating intergenerational programming. The collective we're building is for all of us, and we're excited to have you join us on this journey. If this is your first time joining us, we're glad you're here. And if you had a chance to take part in any of our recent events, like our inaugural book club session or Art with Asha late last month, we're happy to have you back. I'm excited to have the opportunity to introduce once again today's guest instructor, Celina Merrill. If you don't know her yet, Celina is a dancer, ballerina, and trailblazer in the Nashville dance scene. She obtained her BFA in dance from the University of Cincinnati in 2019, and her extensive training background has provided her with the tools for keeping in touch with her body, staying healthy, flexible, and limber. Celina, we are so happy to have you back. Can you walk us through what our lesson will look like today?
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. So yes, today is going to look a little different. If you're with us last week, we mainly worked with a chair, and it's still, for those who need a chair, we can still use a chair and focus on just staying in the chair. But I'm also going to do some things on the floor, make it a little bit more intermediate than what we did last week. I'm adding in some more stretches, more different stretches. And if you need an alternative, just feel free to put that in the chat and I can make accommodations as needed.
Yay! I'm so excited. And yes, as Celina mentioned, if you have any questions or needs or anything that you wanted to share, feel free to throw it in our comment section today, and I'll be sure to jump in and let Celina know. But that's all that you'll be hearing from me. Celina, it's over to you. Can't wait to get started.
Alrighty. So we're going to start sitting on the floor. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see what's happening with my body. I'll move my chair back. If you would like to sit in a chair with your feet planted on the ground, you're more than welcome to do that. But I'm going to start sitting on the floor just with my feet crossed. I'm going to grab on to my knees and feel that my spine is lengthening from the floor. And I should have a straight line, just like we talked about last week, from the top of my head to the tip of my tailbone. Grab it off my knees and find that place. You'll be able to judge if you're sitting forward on your sits bones or if you're sitting back on your sits bones. You want to sit up nice and tall. Now, we're going to do some head rolls. So we're going to drop our chin down to the floor and then bring our right ear to our shoulder and lift our chin up to the sky. And then left ear to left shoulder and to the chest. And we'll do that again, nice and slow. Really working through those sticky places that we might have in our neck. We're going to do two more. Trying to move around in a circle as smooth as possible and also keeping our shoulders relaxed. And last one in this direction. And we're going to do the exact same thing going to the left. We're going to start dropping our chin down to our chest and then bringing our left ear to our left shoulder, lifting our chin to the ceiling, right ear to right shoulder, and chin to your chest. And keep going. Same thing. As we move our head to the right, we want to keep it nice and smooth, working through those sticky places that we kind of want to jump over, and also keeping our shoulders and chest nice and relaxed. Two more going in this direction. And the last one. Good. Okay. I'm going to turn to the side. Still sitting right on top of your sit bones, tail pointing down to the floor. We're going to extend our arms in front of us, and you're going to lift them up and circle them back and touch the floor behind you, and then reach up and forward and touch the floor in front of you. Trying to keep your spine nice and straight. We don't want to rock back or forward as we do this. Our arms are moving independently of the rest of our body. Sit forward and touch. Touch the floor behind you and up. Touch the floor and up. Keep going up. Back and up. Front. Up. Back and up. And forward. Now we're going to do a little side stretch. So with your arms extended to your sides, we're going to lift our left arm up over our head and reach towards the top corner of the room that you're in. When I do things like this, I think about where the ceiling meets the wall, and I try to reach for that little seam right there in the room. As we do this, we want to be careful that we're not flaring our ribs to the front like this. Once again, keeping everything nice and compact, stretching to the side. You should feel a stretch from your left hip all the way up through your chest. As you do this, you can move your head around, look to the floor, and to the ceiling, and to the floor, and the ceiling, nice and slow. Just waking our bodies up. And we go to the other side. Lift your right arm and reach for that upward diagonal rather than down. Keep it nice and long. Keep your chest compact. Turn your head around, look down to the floor, and up to the ceiling, and to the floor, and to the ceiling, floor, and ceiling. One more time, floor, and ceiling, and come up tall. Now, if you were here last week, you remember we did this in the chair where we had our hands behind our head and we curved and pulled forward and up. We're going to do the exact same thing sitting down with our feet crossed. So, sitting up nice and tall, head right over top of the tailbone, directly down to the ground. Place your hands behind your head. We're going to curl over as if there was a barrel or a ball that's in front of you that you're trying to curl over top of. We curl over. We bring our elbows to our knees. And we look up. And bring our spine up. Chest is open to the ceiling. And we curl over. Bring your elbows to your knees. Extend your spine in the other direction. Looking up to the ceiling, chest is open. Curl. Bring your elbows to your knees. Bend your spine in the other direction as we come up. Chest is open. And curl your spine. Bring your elbows to your knees. Bend your spine in the other direction as we come forward and up. And chest is open. And now we reverse the whole thing. Staying in this position, we're just going to tilt it forward. And then we curl. And roll your spine all the way up. Stacking each vertebrae on top. And in the our chest open to the ceiling. And we shift over. Curl. Roll, 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 roll. Ending with our chest open to the ceiling. Tilt forward. And curl. Roll all the way up. Open your chest. Tilt forward. And curl. And roll all the way up. All right, moving on, we're going to place our feet flat on the ground, knees pointed up to the ceiling. Keep your legs about hip distance apart so we don't want our feet touching, our legs touching. We also don't want them too wide. Just a good amount of distance in between, about hip distance apart. We are going to keep our hands behind our head. We're going to rock back slightly Give a little bit of a V shape. So we rock back. We're going to lift our right leg and set it down. And to left leg, just keeping it bent. Right leg, down, and left. As you do this, you want to keep your hips still. We don't want to shift our hips around as you do. Keep it nice and still. Lift and lower. And lift and lower. And lift and lower. 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 And lift and lower. Good. Now, we're going to add a little bit of a variety to this. You can keep your hands behind your head, or you can use your arms. I'm going to put my arms in front of me. I'm going to rock back, lift my arms up over my head, making sure that I'm not arching in my back, keeping my abs nice and tight, lift my arms, and then one leg, and then the other leg, arms forward, and pull forward, and pull back. Arms up, lift one leg, the other leg, arms forward, pull forward, roll back, arms up, one leg, and the other leg, arms forward, pull forward, and roll back, arms up, with one leg, other leg, arms forward, pull forward. Last time, roll back, arms up, lift one leg, and the other leg, arms forward, and pull forward. Woo! All right. I don't know about y'all, but my abs are definitely on fire from that. And my legs as well, trying to keep them nice and parallel rather than letting them open and turn around. Alrighty, we're going to lay down on the ground. Feet are on the floor, still about hip distance apart. Our knees are pointed up to the ceiling. Yes, this does build your core. What we just did right here, I saw a comment from Miss Donna Gaines, absolutely build your core muscles. You feel it all through here. So we're down on the ground. We're going to bring our right knee to our chest, grabbing right underneath your kneecap, and let your hip relax into the hip point. And just let it move a little bit. We're gonna rock it back and forth. Just get some movement to open up your hip a little bit. And then you're going to make little circles going out and around with your knee using your elbows. And then we're going to do it in the opposite direction. Good. Now, extend your leg up to the ceiling and grab on wherever you can. If that's on the back of your thigh, or if that's behind your knee, or if that's behind your calf, or your ankle, or your toe, wherever that is. We're just going to grab on and keep our knee nice and straight. Think about lengthening from your hip all the way to your heel, through the back of your knee. We're just going to hold here for a minute and do a nice little stretch. If there's any place that feels particularly tight, as you take deep breaths, think about breathing into that tightness. Release that stretch. Let your leg float to the ground, and then pull it in. We're going to do the exact same thing with our left. Turn the other direction so you can see. So, we bring our knee to our chest, and we just pull it in and let it float out. Get some movement in our hip joint. Start warming things up a bit. And then we're going to make little circles going out towards your left shoulder. And then make little circles going in the other direction, towards your right shoulder. Alrighty, bringing that to stillness, we're going to stretch our left leg to the sky, flex your foot, grab on wherever you can, either behind your thigh, behind your knee, on your calf, behind your calf, your ankle, or your toes. My left leg is tighter than my right leg, so I'm just going to grab behind my ankle, and we will hold. And just breathe into that stretching sensation. Wherever that tightness is, as you take deep breaths, just focus on releasing in that area. And release that. Lift your left leg close to the ground and flip it in. Okay, we're going to work on our abs a little bit more. This is something that I do as a warm-up before I take my leg class, and I really like it. It helps to keep your ribs pulled together, knitted together, rather than letting them splay open like this. So you're going to extend your arms in front of you, off of your shoulder. You can round your elbows if you would like, or keep them nice straight. I'm going to round my elbows. You're going to let your arms float behind you over your head. And as you do that, you want to keep your abs nice and tight to keep from this happening. We don't want to arch our back off the floor. Keep it nice and pressed down into the floor. So our arms are in front of us. We float them up and back to the floor behind us over our head, and then float them forward and in front of us. And back on the floor, and then bring them back in front. And up, and back, and forward, and up, and back, and forward, up, and back, and forward, up, and back, and forward, and up, and back, and forward, and then more up, and back, and forward. Good. We're going to keep our hands, we'll extend our arms into a T on the floor behind us, and we're going to bring our legs into a tabletop. And we're going to lower one leg down and bring it up, and then the other leg down and bring it up. As you do this, we also want to think about pressing our spine down into the floor so that we don't have our pelvis moving back and forth as we do this. So, arms are extended into a T. You can press your arms down into the ground as well. And our feet, our legs, are in a tabletop. I'm going to drop my left leg until my toes touch, and then bring it back up. And then same with my right. And bring it up. And left. And bring it up. And right. And bring it up. And left. And right. And left. And right, and left, and right, and left, and right. Good. I'm going to lower my left leg to the ground, and I'm going to grab onto my right leg, and I'm going to gently guide myself down to the floor into this twist stretch. So my right knee is on the ground, or as close to the ground as I can get, and I'm using my left hand to help guide in that direction, and I'm reaching with my right arm in the opposite direction, trying to keep my right shoulder on the ground. A nice little spine twist. You can adjust your right leg as needed. You can bring it up closer to your chest, you can bring it down, you can extend your leg, whatever it is. as you do this, you also turn your chin in the opposite direction from the twist. So since I'm twisting to the left, I'm turning my chin to the right. And we untwist and come back to our feet planted on the ground. I'm going to lift my left leg now, grab on with my right hand, and slowly and gently guide myself down to the floor as I twist in the opposite direction. Trying to keep my left shoulder on the ground as my left knee reaches for the ground on the opposite side. Alrighty, coming back to that feet planted on the ground, about hip distance apart, and our knees pointed up to the ceiling. We are going to do some bridges, some glute bridges. So I'm going to curl my spine. If you can see, there's a bit of a space underneath the small of my back where I can put my hands. So I'm going to minimize that space by curling my tail under and lifting my hips off of the ground, trying to make a straight line from my knees all the way to my shoulders. A diagonal, straight diagonal line. And then we come back down and we uncurl our spine. And then we repeat. We curl, press your spine down to the ground, lift your hips off of the ground, and then roll back down and release. And curl. And up. And release. And down. And curl. And up. And release. And down. And curl. Up. Release. Down. And curl. We're going to hold up this time. We're going to try, you can either stay here, use one arm, or you can use both arms. I'm going to use both arms. I'm going to lift my arms off the floor and keep them off my shoulders and then stretch them behind me and up and down. And reach behind and bring your arms back down. And reach behind and bring your arms back down. And reach behind and bring your arms back down. Two more. Behind, arms down. Last one, reach behind, bring your arms back down. Roll your spine down. Hug your knees into your chest. And give a little roll side to side. Alrighty, we're going to sit up. I'm going to turn to the side once more. Now, we will extend our feet in front of us. I'm going to place my arms slightly behind me, so I'm leaning back, and I have something to help me find my balance. So, we can be here, or we can keep our arms out to the side, or above our head, or in front of us. I'm going to place my arms behind me. We're keeping our feet parallel, and we're going to flex our feet so our toes are pointed up to the ceiling. I'm going to lift my right leg off the floor and set it down. This is using our abs and our hip flexors and our quads, warming up all those things. We lift it up, and we hold, set it down. As we do this, switch the other leg. We want to make sure that we're keeping our spine nice and lifted, that we're not sitting back like this. Keep your chest nice and open. Lift up and up and up and up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Last one left, up and down. We're going to lift right one more time. Lift We're going to take our arms, if you haven't already, take our arms off and reach for that toe, keeping our balance. And lift your arms up over your head and hold. And bring them down and set your foot down. Same thing with the left. Lift and hold. Bring your arms in front of you. Lift your arms up over your head. Keep holding. Keep holding. Bring them back down. Set your hands behind you and over your head. Woo! All right. Now, a little bit of hip mobility. So, actually, I might turn this face a little bit better. My feet are about hip distance apart. My feet are planted on the ground. I'm going to turn myself to the right as I allow my knees to fall. And then we come back to our sitting position. We do the same thing going to the left. Turn to the left, allow your knees to flow in that direction. And then return to your seated position. And turn. And turn and roll. And come back. And turn and roll. Come back. Turn and roll. And come back. Turn and roll. Come back. And turn and roll. Come back. 2 more. Turn and roll. Come back. And turn and roll. Come back. We're going to turn to the right with our legs in this figure 4 position. And I'm going to reach forward. Get a little bit of the extra stretch from my hip and down through my low back. And come back up. Turn to the left, same thing. Reach, get that stretch. Okay, we're going to come to standing really quick. So we're going to stand up. You can use your chair for balance, or we can just keep our hands on our hips. So standing, your feet are also about hip distance apart. If you don't know where that is when you're standing, if you place your fists side by side and then place them on the floor, align your big toe joints with the outside of each pinky finger, and that is your hip distance apart. I'm keeping my hands on my hips. I'm going to lift my right knee up to my chest, and then I'm going to circle my hip, open my leg to the side, and bring it down. And again, up, and open, and up, open, and up, open, and down, up, open, down, up, open, down, up, open, down. Last one, up, open, and down. We're going to do the exact same thing with the left. Lift it up, open it side, and drop it down. Lift it up, and open, and up, open, down, up, open, down, up, open, down, up, open, down, up, open. Last one, up, open, and down. Going to do the exact same thing, starting with my right, but now we're going to reverse the circle. So we lift our leg with our knee pointed to the side, we swing it front, we lower it down. Again, up, close it, put it down. Lift it up, swing it forward, put it down. Lift it up, swing it forward, put it down. Lift it up, swing it forward, put it down. Lift it up, swing it forward, put it down. Last one, up, forward, and down. Same thing left. Lift it up and close it and then set it down. And up, swing it and lift it up, pull it forward, pull it down, up, forward, and up, forward, and up, forward, down. Last one, up, and forward, and down. Good. I'm gonna lift my arms up to the ceiling, and I'm going to drop my chin to my chest and curl all the way down until my hands touch the floor. I'll turn to the side. My hands are on the floor. I'm going to bend my knees down and then stretch my knees, thinking about lifting my tailbone to the floor. And bend my knees, curl my spine, and then stretch my knees, thinking about lifting my tailbone to the ceiling. I'm going to take my left hand around my right ankle, and I'm going to lift my right hand to the ceiling. A little bit of a stretch, a twist stretch here. You can also bend your left knee if you would like a little bit more of a stretch along the outside of your right leg. And come back to center. Let's just bend our knees and stretch one time. And stretch. I do our same thing, taking my right hand around my left ankle, lifting my left hand to the sky, and if you would like to, you can bend that right knee, get a good stretch all the way down that left leg. And back to center. One more time. Bend your knees and stretch your legs. Alrighty, let's come back down to the floor. I'm going to place the soles of my feet together and open my knees. This is called a butterfly. I'm going to walk, switch back a little bit so you can see my whole body. I'm going to walk my hands forward until I can't go anymore. A nice stretch. You should feel a stretch along the base of your low back between your hips. And you can also drop your chin to your chest to really get a stretch in the back of your spine. Take some really good deep breaths. Breathing in and exhaling out. And breathing in and exhaling out. Okay, I'm going to walk my hands to the left side and exact same thing. Now you should feel a stretch from the base of your right hip all the way up the side of your back. Same thing, take some nice breath. And walk yourself to the right side of this form. Really reach. You can reach beyond where your body is. Really get that good deep stretch. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to leave my left leg where it is. I'm going to extend my right leg out just slightly. So if you look from the side, it's slightly in front of me. It's not directly to the side. It's slightly in front. I'm going to turn my body to face my right leg, and I'm going to walk forward. The stretch. You can wrap your hands around your right foot to give you some leverage to pull on. This is also a good stretch for your low back. Drop your head, bring your nose to your knee. And walk yourself back up. We're going to do the exact same thing, stretching our other leg. So we're still in that butterfly. And we stretch our left leg slightly to the side. It's still in front of me, not directly to my side. I turn my chest towards that leg, and I walk forward. You can wrap your hands around that foot if you would like, and then drop your nose to your knee. And just breathe into your low back. And walk yourself back up. We're going to stretch both legs in front of us now. And walk yourself forward as far as you can go. And drop your nose to your knees. I'm going to grab onto my toes for a little bit of leverage. You can just keep your hands on the floor. You can grab onto your ankles. You can grab onto your shins. Wherever it is. Breathe. In this stretch, I feel it all the way up the back of both legs and also in my spine, up my back. All right, walk yourself up. We're going to come onto our knees, our hands on our knees. I'm keeping my knees right underneath my hips and my wrists are right under my shoulders. We're going to do a couple of cat-cows. We're going to inhale, drop your belly to the floor and look up to the ceiling. And then exhale, curl your spine towards the ceiling. And exhale, drop your belly down to the floor, up. And exhale, curl your spine. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Come back to a flat spine. We're going to push back into a child's pose. And find this. From here, we're going to do a bit more of this cat-cow movement. We're going to curl our spine as we shift forward, and then we unravel into what's known in yoga as upward dog. We want to be careful that we're keeping our low back supported, so we're not dropping into our low spine. Keep it nice and supported and open up the upper back and your chest. And then we arch our spine and curl it back over into our child's pose. And then we roll and unravel and look up and arch back and turn. Roll forward and look up and arch back and turn. We'll do two more here. Roll and look up and shift back and come your spine. Last one, roll forward and look up and roll back and turn. Hold this just a little bit longer. And roll up to kneeling. Last thing, we're just going to do a little bit of neck stretches here. So I'm sitting on my knees. I'm going to bring my right ear to my right shoulder and take my right arm over top and put it on the side of my head and just give just a little bit of pressure, just a little bit. And I'm going to reach down with my left hand towards the floor. And then I'm going to turn my head towards the floor and feel that stretch along the back of your neck. And then bring it back to the side, still reaching for the floor. And release. I'm going to roll my head forward, so my chin to my chest, and then bring my head upright. And same thing to the left. Tilt your head to the left, bring your left arm over your head. Just give a little bit of pressure so you feel that stretch, and reach your right arm towards the floor. And turn your head towards the floor. And turn your head to the side once more. Drop your arm, drop your chin to your chest, and roll up. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. I believe Lauren, there she is.
Celina, this was another great lesson. You did some of my favorite stretches, and then I learned a few new ones today too.
Yeah.
We all remembered, yes, you need to stretch your neck. Yes, you need to stretch your arms, your legs. Those make sense. We have to get to our back and our hips, and you hit all of those today. So thank you so much.
Of course. I feel great. I also feel really limber. I came from the gym before this, so I definitely needed that stretch to work out all of those things.
Absolutely. I've started adding it to the top and the end of my workout routine because I can't get started without it. But then I used to go home and just forget. It's like, no, I did my workout today. I don't need to do anymore. No, you're going to do
You'll need a stretch afterward. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I hope that we'll have you back. And if anybody has additional comments or questions, feel free to throw those in the chat now. Just like Dana, who just said another great session, Celina. Thank you. Thank you so much. I cannot say enough. Yay. And if you guys enjoyed today's Vibrant Learning lesson, be sure to keep an eye out because we will be having a few coming up soon, including Tuesday, February 25th, we'll be having our smartphone cinematics class with guest instructor Dimitri Williams on how to record, edit, and share videos like a pro. Thank you again for joining us. Be sure to follow us on all of our social you should check out if you're going to hit YouTube, our Vibrant Learning page, as we do have a few videos there, as well as all the lives, including Celina's today and last week. So please as well visit our website at sagecollective.org to learn more about our Sage Advice Vibrant Learning programs and to register for upcoming classes. Thank you all so much again for joining us this morning, for stretching with us. Thank you, Celina, for being an amazing guest instructor once again, and we hope to see you all soon. Bye. Have a great day.